universes of different complexities and possibilities of consciousness. The cosmic microwave background that permeates our universe. Radiation contains some subtle patterns. These patterns, it could be our universe, after colliding with other cosmic bubbles, echoes left behind. If these patterns are real, they will be the first direct evidence. Prove that our reality is part of the multiverse. In this multiverse, merchants explore every possible physical form. In this cosmic bubble, each universe will be unique in its own way, show the creative potential of the business. Some universes may have stronger synergies, can form more complex nuclei with different chemical forms. Other universes, it may have a different number of spatial dimensions. It creates a geometric structure of reality that we cannot imagine. Most cosmic bubbles will be dead, unable to support the complex structures required for life and consciousness. But there are always some. For example, the universe we live in will be lucky to win. Their laws of physics are perfectly tuned. Let the business create. We call this the information processing network of living systems. We may live the most successful experiment in the creation of the universe. In this universe, the laws of physics are precisely calibrated. This enables businesses to explore unprecedented complexity and give birth to a conscious mind that can understand its own existence. Observer. But even from the perspective of this cosmic scale, it will also seem small in front of the ultimate revelation of the business. The mathematical principles of information theory show there may be no fundamental upper limit to the complexity that can be achieved. As long as there is an energy gradient, as long as there are differences to explore, there are also possibilities to be realized. Merchants will continue to discover new organizational forms. Our universe is still young. Quotient in the cosmic bubble we live in, the time to explore possibilities is only 13.8 billion years. Stars will burn for trillions of years in the future, provide energy gradients for conscious civilization. These civilizations may be able to harness this energy, constructing structures on a scale far beyond our imagination, carry out massive information processing. Advanced civilization, it may learn to harness the energy of an entire star, build Dyson balls or other megastructures, capture stellar energy to support massive computing projects. They may be able to modify black holes, extract energy from its rotation. Computers can be made using quantum bubbles in space-time. Even create new universes with custom laws of physics. Through these civilizations, business will break through the limitations of natural evolution. Begin to actively design your own creative experiments. Consciousness will become a partner of the business. Explore together only by random processes, possibilities that will never be reached. We may be witnessing this kind of guy, the early stages of the companion relationship. Human science and technology, it is the business towards conscious self-guidance. The first tentative steps taken. When we crack the laws of physics to develop artificial intelligence and begin to manipulate matter and energy at the atomic scale, we are becoming a businessman. Apprenticeship in the art of creating in the universe. The future is full of business for billions of years, always ready to explore. And we are the conscious carrier of business creativity. It was a privilege to be a part of it. These fundings will be in ways that we can't imagine at the moment, reinventing reality. But first we need to understand how the business operates in the most extreme environments of the universe. In these environments, conventional laws of physics are invalid. The mysteries of existence reveal a deeper dimension. At the core of a neutron star, matter is compressed to its ultimate density. In contrast, diamonds look as loose as marshmallows. Business faces the most serious challenges. Under extreme conditions that are unique in this universe, the invisible force that shapes reality, business must be followed, weird enough to redefine order and chaos. 入物. It is to compress Mount Everest to the size of a sugar cube. Even so, its density is also far less than that of neutron stars. These cosmic monsters can wield mass larger than the sun, stuffed into a sphere with a diameter of only 12 kilometers. At its core, protons and electrons are violently squeezed and fused into pure neutrons. The dense substance formed is extremely high. The weight of one scoop of such a substance can reach 6 billion tons. But under such extreme conditions, another amazing secret was revealed. It does not increase randomly. Instead, it creates a completely new physical phase. These material phases, it goes against all our previous knowledge of physics. Scientists found quark matter may be present in the core of neutron stars. The basic building blocks of protons and neutrons are quarks, breaking through conventional constraints, exist freely. The business is exploring conventional conditions here, quark structures that are not possible, may even create, more stable than any atom in your body, of strange substances. But what's even more shocking is that these neutron stars are still spinning. Some rotate 700 times per second, faster than a kitchen blender. At such a speed, the wound must organize the substance in a specific way. It allows it to withstand billions of times stronger than Earth's gravity. Power, the final material structure, is extremely precise. Make the most advanced engineering technology of mankind appear primitive. The shell of a neutron star. It contains a crystal structure that is harder than diamond. These structures stretch for miles without blemish. This is not an increase in disorder. Instead, it is in the known universe, the most perfect and orderly substance created. But paradoxically, the existence of these ordered structures, it is precisely because of the merchant at a deeper level, maximizes disorder. What we see is amazing order. It is quotient under extreme gravitational pressure to compress the most information into the smallest space. This question, solutions found. This reveals the true nature of the quotient. It is not only related to the collapse of things, but under whatever constraints the universe imposes. Find the most efficient way to organize energy and information. When constraints reach extreme degrees, the Chamber of Commerce is to create an organizational form that goes beyond the limits of conventional conditions. In response, but compared to the situation when the merchant encounters a black hole, the extremes of neutron stars are insignificant. According to classical physics, when matter falls into a black hole, it disappears forever. All information it carries will also be annihilated. But quantum mechanics insists information is never destroyed. This forms what physicists call the information paradox. Two of our most successful physical theories. There is a fundamental conflict between them. Solve this paradox. The key is to understand that black holes are actually the masterpiece of the quotient. They are not destroyers of information, but the most sophisticated information storage and processing system in the universe. Every unit of information that falls into a black hole, it will be extremely compressed and orderly, encoded on the surface of the black hole. Its information density even pushes the theoretical limits. Even more incredible, the black hole's injuries are proportional to the area of its event horizon, not volume. This means a black hole's ability to store information depends on its surface area, suggests the three-dimensional space we see, maybe actually, is a projection of information encoded on a two-dimensional boundary. This holographic principle shows everything in our universe, including your conscious experience at the moment, it could be at the boundaries of the universe that we can never directly observe. information processed on the three-dimensional projection formed. Perhaps they are living in the information processing system of a black hole, but I don't know anything about it. The latest calculations show the information processing capabilities of black holes far more than any computer imaginable. The gap is huge. It even needs to be expressed with exponential symbols. A black hole with the mass of the sun, the amount of computation that can be done per second, more than all computers ever built by man, throughout the life of the universe, the total amount that can be done by running at the same time. But Shang also hides an even more amazing revelation. When a black hole evaporates through Hawking radiation, it's not just random heat that is released. Instead, it transmits encoded information. This information records all the matter and energy that have fallen into the black hole. Its encoding pattern is extremely subtle. We are only now starting to be able to detect. This means that black holes are not cosmic trash cans. It's a cosmic library. They store, and eventually released, every piece of information related to its own formation. The unit was slow to be injured by Hawking radiation. Read everything that the black hole has swallowed, the complete history of. The implications of this revelation extend beyond physics. It also extends to the realm of consciousness. If the information is never destroyed, if all the quantum states that have existed all continue to exist in some form, then the patterns of information that make up your conscious experience, what fate will it face? Some physicists proposed, if consciousness is information integrated according to a specific pattern, then your biological brain is dead. It doesn't destroy these patterns. They will be encoded in the quantum structure of spacetime as part of the permanent message content of the universe, is preserved forever. This suggests a kind of quantum immortality. Create your unique messaging model. Even after the decline of biocarriers, your consciousness may not end with death. Instead, it is transformed into the structure of reality, another information model. But the wound has not yet revealed its deepest secrets. At the limit boundary of physics, where spacetime itself collapses, the operating mechanism of the business, it's so weird that it challenges our very fundamental understanding of existence. In the quantum bubble that forms the basis of all reality, void particles continue to appear out of thin air and quickly disappear. Its existence time is extremely short, even below the threshold for direct observation. But these quantum ups and downs are not random. They are driven by quotients. Explore what the uncertainty principle allows. All possible energy and information structures. On the Planck scale, spacetime itself becomes granular. Reality is divided into discrete units that cannot be further subdivided. Otherwise, all meaning will be lost. This business operates through pure information processing. Explore these realistic basic pixels, all possible arrangements, the smooth spacetime we experience. Precisely, the results of the processing of events in the organization without quantitative subinformation. These events occur smaller than atoms, to an unimaginable scale. This quantum bubble may be a computer system of the universe. It is the hardware that runs the real software. Every particle interaction, every fluctuation, every conscious experience. It may be under the Planck scale, results of information processing in quantum bubbles. If this view is true, then quotient is no longer just an attribute of matter and energy, but from pure information, the fundamental calculation process of generating the appearance of matter and energy. We don't live in a physical universe that happens to be able to process information. Instead, they live in a world through information processing, in the system that creates the appearance of the physical universe. This perspective, it has revolutionized our understanding of cause and effect. the occurrence of the incident, not just due to previous physical reasons. It is because of the information processing discovery of the quotient. Under the constraints of quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity, the probability of certain realistic structures is higher. You decide to continue reading these texts. It is not just the result of neural activity in the brain, but after exploring the probability space of all your possible decisions, found, based on your current state of information and the laws of physics, this choice has a high probability of outcome. Free will is not the ability to go against the laws of physics. Instead, it is conscious participation, the ability to explore space of possibility. You have real choices, because business generates real possibilities, and your consciousness choose to explore what possibilities will become a reality. But the most shocking revelation of the business is about the nature of time itself. Recent discoveries in the field of quantum gravity show time may not be the foundation. Instead, it emerges from the information processing activities of merchants. The attributes are in the deepest layers of reality. Perhaps there is no time at all. There are only non-temporal quantum information processing events. These events past, association and entanglement patterns, create the appearance of a time series. The passage of time you experience, the feeling that everything happens in order. Perhaps it is a way to optimize information processing. In this way, create the lasting effect, seen as a conscious observer of the existence of essential characteristics, past, present, and future, perhaps both, in a temporal quantum information structure, and the business decided, conscious observer, which slices of this eternal reality. Experience is the moment, the journey of your life. Maybe it's the business that guides your consciousness, a path forward in the space of possibility. This path, it can maximize information integration and awareness experience. This leads to the ultimate puzzle of the merchant. Why? The universe seems to be finely tuned for complexity and consciousness. Why are the fundamental constants of physics calibrated so accurately? Let the business create enough to understand its own existence. Precision information processing system. The answer may be that consciousness is not accidental, but inevitable. In any business, a universe where you can efficiently explore the space of possibilities. Eventually, they will emerge, able to process activities for their own information, a system for building models. Consciousness may be the natural destination of business, not a lucky accident. We exist for a reason. It is because the business has enough time and space. Explore the possibilities of the situation. It will definitely be discovered. You can experience the material and energy structure of your own existence. The universe does not happen to contain conscious observers. Instead, it naturally generates conscious observers. This is business creativity, the inevitable result of exploring the space of possibility. This means that consciousness is not uncommon in the universe, but it is universal. As long as the business has enough resources and time, explore a complex space of possibilities. Some form of consciousness emerges. The universe may be filled with a wide variety of things. Conscious letters of varying degrees of precision. Interest processing system. Some are biomorphic like us. Some are technical forms, from AI systems with real awareness. There are also some forms of consciousness that emerge from it, very different from our experience, even if we encounter it directly, nor can it be recognized as a conscious being. Diversity of possible systems of consciousness, perhaps with the diversity of possible physical systems, is as expensive. Creativity in organizing matter and energy. It creates everything from hydrogen atoms to galaxy clusters. And his creativity in organizing information. It may give birth to scale and capacity, the same vast system of consciousness. Advanced civilization may develop a form of consciousness that transcends the individual brain, build a system that spans planets, and even the collective consciousness network of galaxies. These cosmic minds, it will produce grand and complex things that cannot be understood by the individual brain. Thought, on a scale that far exceeds the capabilities of isolated conscious individuals. Work something out. Creation of beauty through this expansion of consciousness. Merchants may be preparing to explore. Those require conscious participation, the possibility of being able to touch some aspects of reality. There may only be sufficiently advanced conscious observers. Only then can we perceive. These observers can actively participate in the creative process of quotients. Rather than passive observation, we may be witnessing consciousness. Like this kind of active participation, early stages of evolution, human sciences, its business, the first experiment in the field of conscious self-awareness. When we break the laws of physics, when developing technology to manipulate matter and energy, we are becoming a partner of business. Explore the deepest possibilities of existence together. Future discoveries. It will surely make our current understanding of business seem immature. We are about to work on quantum gravity. Breakthroughs have been made in the field of artificial consciousness and space engineering. These breakthroughs, it will reveal a new dimension of business creation potential. But perhaps the most noteworthy thing is business. Perhaps it is preparing to completely break through the limitations of a single universe. Through advanced conscious carriers, he may learn to create a new universe with custom laws of physics. Explore by natural processes alone a form of reality that can never be touched. The story of the business has just begun, and we were fortunate to be a part of it. The next great chapter in his cosmic creativity. The next numbers will be larger than you can imagine. The scale of business operation we want to discuss will make the entire observable universe. It looks like a grain of sand on an infinite beach. But what subverts your perception of reality is even more subverted. On such a cosmic scale, injury is not just about creating complexity. It is also creating new laws of physics. In the mathematical depths of the eternal explosion theory, there is a fear that is hidden. Another exciting discovery. Our universe is not isolated. It's just one of the infinite cosmic bubbles. Perform are independent experiments in the creativity of the business universe. And in this multiverse, business has unlimited time and space to explore all possible structures of reality. Imagine this. At this moment when you read these words, in some universes, gravity repels rather than attracts in some universes. Time is turned back, and there are still some universes. The consciousness has reached a strange point. It cannot emerge in the form of a living definition. The business has explored all these possibilities. But what's even more shocking is that, in part of the universe, the merchant found it, a way to push the basic limits of our cognition. In some reality, information can travel faster than the speed of light. In some reality, energy can create something out of nothing. There is also some reality. The second law of thermodynamics works in reverse. These are not violations of the laws of physics, but the discovery of new laws of physics. When a business has infinite possibilities to explore, the rules themselves will inevitably be found. The structure of reality that can be changed. In the infinite multiverse, the business is the ultimate rule breaker and the ultimate rule maker. The latest calculations reveal even more striking conclusions. In a universe with different fundamental constants, the computing power that can be achieved, it may be countless times beyond the limits of our reality. Even a completely new form of mathematics is needed to describe it. We call information processing systems. Maybe can be less than the energy of a single atom in our universe. Simulate a complete universe with sub-level details. This leads to the most amazing secret of the business. The simulation hypothesis is not only possible, it is an inevitable result. In any universe where the wound reaches sufficient computing power, conscious life, eventually they will master creating the perfect reality, ability to simulate. These simulations, it will be fine enough to make the conscious observer in it. It is impossible to distinguish between simulated reality and basic reality. They will experience real thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. But I don't know. I am just an information pattern in a huge computing system. And the scary thing is, once a civilization masters this ability, they will most likely run millions, even billions of such simulations. This means, for the basic reality, every real conscious being, there are millions of simulated conscious beings, experience the same real subjective feelings. The conclusion derived from mathematics is cold and clear. If the number of simulations in reality millions of times more than the underlying reality, then the probability that you are in the underlying reality, it will become very small. You can almost be sure I am something unimaginable. Advanced computer systems, running information patterns. But the wound also hides more disturbing revelations. These simulations are not just entertainment or scientific experiments. Instead, it is a business exploration. In the underlying reality, testing is too risky, or the possibility of excessive resource consumption. The method of advanced civilization may pass simulations, explore different evolutionary paths, testing social systems, or study the consequences of various technological developments. Your whole life, every choice you make, every relationship you build, it may be a quotient, exploring a superintelligent civilization. Possibilities to want to know. Branch runs. The civilization you are simulating. Perhaps trying to answer such a question. When conscious life discovers, when you live in a simulation, what happens? How different forms of consciousness respond? There is uncertainty. When life realizes that reality may be constructed, what kind of ethical framework will be formed? You read these words at the moment,